The World Cup starts in a matter of weeks, and most fans have no idea that FIFA and IFAB have officially changed the rules. Not tweaked them, changed them. 7 specific rules that will affect every single match of the 2026 tournament. Throw-ins, substitutions, injuries, VAR protests, time wasting, offsides. All of them look different now. And if you're watching the World Cup without knowing these 7 changes, you're going to be very confused when something happens on the pitch and the referee makes a call you've never seen before. So today I'm going to walk you through all 7, exactly what changed, exactly why it changed, and exactly what it means for the 2026 World Cup. Starting with a rule that targets something every team has been doing for decades. Rule number 1, and it targets one of the oldest time-wasting tricks in the game: the throw-in. For decades, players have turned a simple restart into a 30-second delay. They walk slowly to retrieve the ball. They adjust their position. They look up. They look down. They stall. And referees have struggled to do anything about it because there was no clear time limit. That changes at the 2026 World Cup. Rule 1, 5-second countdown on throw-ins and goal kicks. Here's how it works. When the referee determines that a team is wasting time on a throw-in or a goal kick, they will activate a visible 5-second countdown gesture. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If the ball is not in play before 0, the throw-in changes hands. The other team gets it. And in the case of a goal kick being time wasted, the punishment is even harsher. A corner kick is awarded to the opposition. Think about what that means. A goalkeeper stalling on a goal kick in the 89th minute, protecting a 1-goal lead, could hand the other team a corner. A genuine chance to equalize. This one rule alone will change how teams manage the final minutes of a World Cup match. FIFA is serious about eliminating time wasting at this tournament, and Rule 1 is just the beginning. You've seen it 1,000 times. A substitution is made, the manager holds up the board, the 4th official signals, and then the player being replaced starts the slowest walk in human history toward the touchline, limping dramatically, stopping to shake hands with every opponent, taking the long route around the entire pitch, all while his team plays with 10 men and the clock keeps running. Rule 2, 10-second limit to exit the pitch. Under the new rules for 2026, once a substitution is authorized, the outgoing player has exactly 10 seconds to leave the field of play. 10 seconds. If they don't make it in time, the substitution is frozen. The replacement player cannot come on until the next stoppage in play, which means the team that tried to waste time ends up punishing itself, playing with 10 men for longer than planned. And here's the part that most people haven't thought about yet. This rule doesn't just stop time wasting, it changes the entire psychology of substitutions. A manager in the 71st minute making a tactical change now has to factor in the time pressure. Is the player being replaced going to cooperate, or are they angry about coming off and going to drag their feet on purpose? At the World Cup, with national pride on the line, that tension is real. Rule 3 is about something even more sensitive: injuries. This one is going to cause controversy. For years, a player could go down injured, receive medical attention on the pitch for 2 or 3 minutes, and then immediately jump back up and continue playing. Sometimes the injury was real, sometimes it was a tactical foul that the team wanted to use to stop play, reorganize, and waste time. Referees couldn't tell the difference, and teams exploited that. Rule 3, injured players must leave the pitch for approximately 1 minute. Under the new 2026 rules, when play is stopped to attend to an injured player on the field, that player must generally leave the pitch and remain off for approximately 1 minute before returning. The medical staff can assess them at the side of the pitch, but they cannot come back instantly. Now, here is the important exception, because it matters enormously. If the injury was caused by an opponent who received a yellow card or red card, the injured player can return immediately. The idea is simple. The team that was fouled shouldn't be punished twice, but every other injury stoppage off the pitch. 1 minute. This is going to be one of the most talked about calls of the entire 2026 World Cup. The first time a star player goes down in the final of the tournament has to leave the pitch, and their team concedes while he's off. Social media will explode. Rule 4 is different. It's not about punishment, it's about player welfare. The 2026 World Cup will be played across 3 countries in North America. Some of those matches will be played in heat and humidity that European players have rarely experienced at a major tournament. FIFA knows this, and Rule 4 reflects it. Rule 4. 2 mandatory hydration breaks per match. Every single match at the 2026 World Cup will include 2 scheduled water breaks, one around the midpoint of each half. In practice, this turns each 45-minute half into 2 roughly equal blocks. And here's what makes this genuinely interesting from a tactical standpoint. These breaks give coaches an additional 2 opportunities per match, beyond halftime, to speak directly to their players. That's 2 extra moments for tactical adjustments, for changing formations, for motivating a team that's falling behind. The 2026 World Cup doesn't just have more teams than any previous tournament. It has more coaching moments built into every single game. Some managers will use these breaks brilliantly. Others won't be prepared for them. The hydration break might become one of the strategic differences between winning and losing at World Cup 2026. The VAR, the most debated technology in the history of football. Some fans love it. Many fans hate it. Almost everyone agrees it's complicated. At the 2026 World Cup, its power is expanding. Rule 5. VAR can now review more situations than before. Here are the specific new scenarios where VAR can intervene at 2026. First, VAR can now review red cards that resulted from a second yellow card, if the second yellow was clearly a mistake. This is huge. Under the previous system, a second yellow leading to a red was essentially final. Now VAR can examine whether that caution should have been given at all. Second, VAR can now flag when a card was shown to the wrong player. If the referee confused 2 players with similar jersey numbers or similar appearances, VAR can intervene and redirect the punishment to the correct person. Third, VAR can correct corner kicks that were awarded incorrectly. And fourth, perhaps most significantly, VAR can now analyze infringements that occurred before a free kick or corner kick that led to a goal, penalty, or disciplinary action. This last point means that the build-up to any decisive moment can be reviewed more thoroughly than ever before. More scrutiny, more accuracy, and yes, more stoppages. The 2026 World Cup will test whether expanded VAR makes the game fairer or just slower. Every World Cup has moments where players lose control. They surround the referee, they argue for minutes, they make gestures of disbelief. Captains, non-captains, substitutes, everyone joins in. FIFA and IFAB have had enough. Rule 6. Stricter conduct and protest rules. The first change. Only the captain may approach the referee to ask questions or dispute a call. Not any other player. If a non-captain player approaches the referee to argue, automatic caution. The second change is the most dramatic. Players who abandon the field of play as a form of protest against a referee's decision can be sent off. That's right. Walking off the pitch in anger, the kind of theatrical gesture that some players use to show their dissatisfaction, is now a red card offense. And there's a third change that some competitions are already testing. Players who cover their mouths to speak privately to opponents or officials may be penalized. The intention is transparency. What happens on the pitch should be visible and accountable. At a World Cup, where cameras capture every angle and every whispered conversation can be lip-read by millions, this rule changes the culture of how players interact with referees. The days of 10 players screaming at a referee after every call? FIFA wants them gone by 2026. And Rule 7 is the one that could quietly reshape how football is played at the highest level. Rule 7 has 2 parts, and both of them are subtle in the best possible way. Let's start with the advantage rule change. Rule 7. A. No yellow card after advantage leads to goal. In the current game, if a referee plays advantage after a foul, meaning they let play continue instead of stopping it, and the attack ends in a goal, the referee still comes back and books the player who committed the foul. Under the new thinking for 2026, if advantage is played and results in a goal, the logic is, the foul didn't actually stop a promising attack, so the automatic yellow card for that infringement may not be issued. The punishment fits the outcome, not just the action. Rule 7b, the Wenger offside law. This is the big one, named after former Arsenal manager Arsène Wenger, who has been pushing for this change for years. The idea, a player should only be ruled offside if their entire body, or at least the part of the body that could legally play the ball, is beyond the last defender. Under the current system, being millimeters offside with a shoulder or armpit is enough to disallow a goal. The Wenger law would end that. This rule is currently being tested in other competitions. The 2026 World Cup could be its greatest test yet. If it works here, in the biggest tournament in history, it could permanently change offside as we know it. 7 rules, all of them official, all of them confirmed, all of them active at the 2026 World Cup. A 5-second countdown on throw-ins, 10 seconds for substituted players to leave the pitch, injured players off for 1 minute, mandatory hydration breaks twice per game, an expanded VAR with more power than ever, a strict crackdown on protests and conduct, and the Wenger offside law, which could quietly change football forever. The next time you're watching the World Cup and something happens that surprises you, you'll already know why. If this was useful, share this video with someone who thinks they know everything about football. I guarantee they didn't know all 7 of these. Subscribe for more World Cup 2026 content. We're just getting started. And tell me in the comments, which of these 7 rules surprised you the most?